Hello guys, it is Monday, January 26th. I recently, actually just today, got back from a quick trip to Minnesota. Don't ask me why. It was like a little concert situation. Weird location, but honestly, like, would be totally happy never going back there again. But when I got back, the city here it's snowing and it's so beautiful. And I really wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So let me pull you up to one of the windows. I mean, how beautiful is that? What a nice thing to come back to. I mean, New York is such a beautiful city. Just love it. Being a Texas girl, I definitely enjoy seeing the snow, even if it doesn't stick. It's such a treat. So I'm about to head to hot yoga. And one thing that I do every time I do a hot yoga class is I oil my hair. And it helps it grow and stay moisturized, especially when it's cold like this in the winter. Everything just gets super dry. So I wanted to show you guys what I put in my oil. Let me try to like prop up this camera. So, and I'll tag all of this as well in the description so you guys can just get it all in one place. You don't have to search for it. But I like to get these bottles, and they have measuring markers on the side, and the top has little tiny holes in the brushes and the bristles. It's just easy to apply to the scalp. And I like to put 4 things in it. The first thing is the main carrier oil. So the bulk of the oil will be consisting of this jojoba. So jojoba is a really good oil to use because it mimics your hair's natural oil the most closely to it, at least from what I've read. And it's a good oil to use as the base. The next oil that I like to put in is pumpkin seed oil. There you go. And pumpkin seed oil is really, really good for hair growth. So this is something that I like to really make sure I get into my scalp, and then I massage it in once it's in there. Eating pumpkin seeds as well will also help from the inside out, grow your hair and make it thicker and stronger. And then rosemary oil, which also assists really well in hair growth. It stimulates basically the circulation in your scalp, the mintiness of it. And it smells really good too. And then lastly, I don't put a ton of it, but I do put castor oil in there. Castor oil is incredibly nourishing, moisturizing, and also helps pull things out of the system, and also helps hair growth from the follicles as well. So basically I put it all together and I just eyeball it, whatever I feel intuitively I should put, you know, from each bottle, and then I shake it up. And it'll be a darker color like this, and that's from the pumpkin seed oil. And then I'll show you how I apply it. So I just divide up my hair like this. I do like a little brush through just to get out any potential knots. And I like to do my hot yoga classes on my wash days. It's been 7 days since I have washed my hair last, which, as you can see, it doesn't really look that oily or like dirty because I've trained my scalp by not overwashing it. And the way you can do that and get over like the hump of it getting oily is you'll just have to put your hair up a lot in buns. Start by, you know, if you're washing your hair every day, you should not do that. I mean, you're just literally stripping your hair of its natural oils, and it's creating a need for your scalp to produce more. And then what happens is your scalp just starts overproducing oil, and then your hair just gets oily automatically like 2 days in. So if you're washing your hair every day or every other day, try to like narrow it down to 3 times a week. And then from 3 times a week, do it for like 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, try to do 2 times a week. And then after 2 weeks, you can pretty much get it down to like every 7 days. And then if it's like kind of oily, which sometimes that happens on like day 4, you can put dry shampoo. And I really like this one. I'll also tag it. It's by Foxy Bay and has biotin. It's also sulfate and paraben free, which is important. So yeah, I part my hair and then I just get the tips into my scalp and I press in and I just make sure that I feel that contact of the oil. Now I'm barely squeezing the bottle, so just enough to feel the wetness on my scalp all the way through. I'm just digging it into my hair and making sure all of my scalp is feeling that moisture from the oil. Okay, feel like got some good coverage. All right, next I am going to rub it in your fingertips. That. Now, one thing you need to make sure that you're doing if you are oiling your scalp, it's good to do it once a week if you can, but you need to follow it up with a clarifying shampoo, or you need to double shampoo. Now, I'm not a huge fan of double shampooing because it can be drying, but a clarifying shampoo basically allows your scalp to have, to release itself from like any buildup that you're getting from the oil. And what you don't want is to clog your pores and your follicles on your scalp, because then that will have a negative effect, which will sometimes cause you to lose hair because your scalp can't breathe and it's got too much buildup on it, and you start to get like flakes and like just unhappy scalp. So the point is to moisturize the scalp, give it the vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff that these oils carry, and then allow it to sink into your skin. And then I'll also do the shafts of my strands as well, to help moisturize my ends, which do get very dry. And I recently did, once a year, I'll do like highlights, very like natural highlights, but it still causes my hair to get a little bit dry and brittle and angry and cranky. So I'll just run it through like so and just make sure it's nice and saturated throughout, so you guys can see. This is what it looks like when it comes out. Like that. My hair is always so soft after. So yeah, I'll do all this and then I'll put it up in a bun and I'll go into hot yoga, and then the heat from the class opens up my pores. I smell like a giant, rotisserie chicken, rosemary rotisserie chicken. That's baking in the oven, but I don't really care. And then I come home and I shower, I clarify, and then I use, I feel like I need a little bit more clarification after my round of clarifying shampoo. I'll use a regular moisturizing shampoo so it doesn't strip it too much, and then I'll follow up with my regular conditioner, whatever you like to use. I like to use rice water bars, and I can tag those too if you guys would like. I've been using them since this summer and I absolutely love them. They make my hair so soft and they help it grow, And they're in the form of bars. So if you like to travel, you don't have to worry about, you know, TSA or like leaking or anything like that. It's very like travel friendly. And you can get these little like transparent mesh bags that they sit in, so you know they don't slip out of your hand when you're, you know, scrubbing your hair with it. I also, ever since I got my hair highlighted, which was like a few weeks ago, whenever I do that, I make sure to use a bond strengthener. This one's a great one. It's by K18, but it's really strong. So with bond strengtheners, basically, it's not a conditioner. What it does is it strengthens the bonds between basically your strands whenever you bleach them and do like, you know, heat styling. It breaks down your hair shaft. And so what this does is it repairs it and kind of like builds it back together. And by doing that, it strengthens it. And you get less split ends, less breakage. And then your hair just kind of fuses back together. So I like to put it all over before the class. So as the heat penetrates the oils into my shaft and my scalp, it also helps the bond strengthener get in there too. And I like to put it on my ends. And I like to do a hair trim like every 6 to 8 weeks if I can plan it out properly. And I always tell Carson, my hair guy, and he knows that, you know, I'm trying to grow my hair out quite long. So we only trim off just enough to get it less crispy at the bottom and to allow it to grow. Okay. So now I'm happy with how my hair is feeling. Overall, I'm going to put it in a bun like this. And grab a scrunchie. Like so. And that's it. All right. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. This is my winter hair routine, and whenever I can, even if it's not winter, but it definitely makes a huge difference in the winter time. And yeah, I would love to know if this works for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you try it, or if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer anyone's questions, or if anyone is interested in other hair recommendations. This is kind of like a hobby of mine. I kind of geek out on it and nerd out and like do a bunch of research and go down different rabbit holes, and I just like love reading all about this kind of stuff and trying it out and sharing it with my friends. So I love you guys. Off to yoga. Bye.